I've had my share of office jobs. I went to college for 4 years, and I got my degree in finance, and I got my office job, and I polished my fingernails every day, and I wore my dresses to the office, and I hated it. I hated being inside and sitting and looking outside and thinking, wow. And then all these messengers would come in with these packages, and I thought, and they'd come in, and I'd say, well, how much money do you make doing this?
Frequency, you burn the red light, hard the Red Sea. But you got to do tags if you want to be free. I'm a secret agent. They're giving me a number, take away my name. I'm like a paramilitary squad. I'm breaking traffic laws before police and God, so get hot. Familiar way on a Friday morning, brother Crud, keeping time with the honk of a horn. 140 New Mo, pick up 3, 401, 502, and 26B, 120 Kearney, and get 4 more. And you can put the Summer Street under the door. The China Basin's hotter than the sound of greed. And checkmate me wherever you be. Get hot!
Rondell, right now, 1 Embarcadero, 1 Embarcadero. Security Pacific on the 4th floor, Real Estate Appraisal Department.
I can live day by day, absolutely, all the time, minute by minute. And I can still provide for myself and take care of myself, but I'm living day to day, minute by minute, all the time. And it's probably one of the few jobs left where you can get away with something like that.
You get hooked, that's what it is. It makes you even more of a misfit. Get hooked on what you do, you know, being out and around, and, you know, you can do your job well and make money and still do whatever the hell you want, you know.
I've been doing it for so long, I can't really get into anything else. I'm just kind of wasted to society, I think.
-000. A bike can do it, but it won't be ready till 12 noon. Right, and I have one other thing, please. I already called it into Vicky. It was a pickup here going to Imperial Color. I'd like to upgrade that to a Rush. Thank you. Bye.
Clean at Thomas Mellon Circle. Anyways, and check me. Get over to Diner Allied 29 at 325 Rich Street and pick up a Mission Street and check me too.
Where you at? 1 second with the 400 block of Market, 582 Market, room 300. Pick up an Ellis at a 1 Embarcadero. Drop off your 400 block of Market and check me too.
At one end, you gotta find out where the envelope is. At the other end, you gotta find someone to sign for the damn envelope.
We are pretty much treated by our clients as, at best, highly intelligent, domesticated animals. You know, in other words, if you could teach a llama or a mule how to write out a manifest, you wouldn't need us at all. We're their beasts of burden. You know, we're the yuppies pack mule is what we are. We work, you know, we pack for yuppies and their masters.
I think we hit them by storm because we come in all sweaty and in a rush, and they're on a different level. They're quiet and they're in a different. They're in a different world. They're in law firms. They're in office life. We're on bicycles. You know, we're wilder and sweatier and louder, and we take them by storm.
A lot of times, you know, you get high, you feel friendly, and you say something, and they take it the wrong way right away, you know. It's better just keep your mouth shut, you know. Speak when spoken to.
One of the things about elevators you were asking earlier is the amazing things people will say to you in front of you. And, you know, it's like you're not there, you're a thing. So I've heard the most incredible stories of corruption and graft and sexual confession. That's about the only perk you get on this job.
In there, we sit down and we get this thing finished. I'm not agreeing on it tomorrow. I'm agreeing on it right now.
Call him, find out what did he say.
He's your lawyer. You have to ask him.
You have to ask him.
I'm not. It's not appropriate for me to be talking to you, you have to go ask him what the two of you want to do. I will wait for you to make that phone call.
Yeah, I've got a pocket full of stride. Big pocket full of stride. Uh-huh. You learn to take things in stride. It makes your day shorter, your ride shorter, more comfortable, and you don't grow old with worry. It's just not worth it. You go home and they'll forget about it, and it is better told in jokes and stories. And I stretch my animosities out on valor.
You know, I'm just taking A and putting it to B. I'm not really hurting anything. I'm not building up or destroying anything, and it's not my fault what they put in the envelopes.
Excuse me. Go ahead.
49, after you drop your two, go to Dr. Sachs at 450 Sutter, Suite 2632. Get a 1606 Stockton charge, OMS PCA.
10-4. Always when you're doing something, you know, they give you all these job numbers and shit that you don't really need to know. 26th floor at 450 Sutter.
70 Laventhal, 425 Market, 3600 at San Francisco, and check me with one. 82, go 82. 440 Pacific, Western International, pick up a Union City.
The dispatchers that I've dealt with for the most part are sitting here, they're playing human chess is what they're doing. They have all of these pieces, and they're trying to figure out the best way to, you know, run this giant ballet game, or, you know, because there's this delivery here, this one over here, this pickup over here, this one here, and the time element, this one's a rush, this one could, you know, be delivered next week. And they're all sitting there stoked out of their brains on coffee, and they just sit there and just suck it down all day until they're like completely frazzled, and they're just on there running their mouth, sending you to Venus.
Number 12, all the way, get down to 50 California Street. Or better yet,
Your economic future is totally in the hands of the dispatcher. If he lines you up real good, gives you a lot of nice tags all together in a row, you make some good money.
Cat, you read me, Cat? Hey, Cat, I know you're on there, but I can't hear what you're saying. It's ready to go, I hope.
All day on that. We got all day on that. Better yet, deliver your 235 Montgomery Street. Drop that off.
They can totally ruin you. I mean, your future, your paycheck is totally in their hands.
Deliver your 333 Bush Street also. Check me too.
Uh-oh, now I think I gotta go. You heard that. 7, go.
7, you almost got that one to go yet?
Yeah, 10-4. Is that a special?
The Dr. Sachs to Stockton is not a special, but I got a special here for you. Pick it up at Brewski, Alaska, 1546 Grant. It's going to Fort Mason Building E on a special. Pick that up, drop to Stockton. Call me with one to go.
10-4. Yeah, now I gotta go. 1546 Grant.
I've got a room in my house that's got about 4 sets of wheels, 2 broken frames, and just 2 frames that don't have enough parts to put them back together right now. I mean, I definitely love biking, and it has a lot to do with the job. Like I say, if I'm not working as a messenger, I'm still going to need to ride my bike, you know.
Yeah, I'm into the bikes, the bike aspect of it, and being able to do anything by bike or, you know, alternatively.
I couldn't ride a bike when I first started. Couldn't ride a bike at all. Took me a week, but I got the hang of it. First day I worked, I was ready to quit, that was it. But here I am 7 years later.
My first bike was a Univega. That was a cool bike. It was a pink one, but you know, it was one of those bikes that you just see going down the street. So, oh, nice bike. Where'd you get that bike from? You know, it was a nice bike. You know, yeah, I got it from Stadium Recycle over there on Hay Street. I was drunk when I picked it out, boy. I didn't even know it was pink until you brought it here. I swear I didn't know it was pink. You know, I was all drunk, you know, and I just went in there and said, I want this bike. I gave little Joe the car. He went there and got it. I said, God, this sucker's pink. But after I got it and rode it for a while, you know, the only thing about it, 2 weeks straight, I think it was a week or 2 weeks straight, and you go up in the building and your bike is new. You go up in the building, you're locked up to a pole or something, you know. But you go up to the building and tell can you wait a few minutes? First thing that's on your mind is your bike downstairs locked up, you know. That's the first, all week, you know, it just bugged me for a while. Until I just put that stuff, all this junk on there and stuff, you know, so it came to be all right. The bike was quick. 18 speed, 23.5 inch. Oh man, I loved it. I gave it to my brother.
That's one of the best parts about riding is getting out on these hills, you know, in the city, and just getting out to different areas that you wouldn't normally see. I think messengers see more of the city than everybody. You know, you probably before our eyes pass every conceivable angle of all the buildings. It's like you're being smeared all over San Francisco, you know.
There's an amazing spectrum of places you can go to enjoy yourself in this city, like the waterfront or the wharf, or at the top of a tall building, or in an elevator shaft somewhere. Stairways are unique. There's a lot of places in this city that I value.
I think chopped liver was one thing I used to deliver. Beans was another thing I used to deliver. Onions. Or there's one company I see they got a lot of food deliveries. It was always hilarious, you know. Go pick up a bag of onions. What? Okay. What do I know, you know? Throw it in the basket, deliver it.
I really have a hard time dealing with subpoenas. I really feel bad about making $1 off of going up to someone going, "Surprise, sucker!" You know, you're going to court, you're going to jail.
Because in New York, it's like you can't have a package delivered by messenger for under $10, you know. I'm serious. And here it's like they have tags that the messengers will get paid 75 cents, you know. And to me, I believe that the banks and the law firms could afford to pay more than that.
If you figure, you know, when you get a $200 check, you know, you have to remember that it's a lot of them $1 things that made that $200 check.
Working on commission makes me feel like I'm working for myself. And it makes me feel that the harder I work, the more I'm going to make. You know, and I can buy my son a pair of shoes or my husband that coat or whatever.
I get the most out of really being under the gun, out of days when the dispatchers are just spitting it out, and every time on the radio you just hear the phone ringing in the background and you hear the other dispatchers talking and everything. And the moment you check in, you just know all of a sudden he's going to say, give you 3 or 4, you know, just get over to here, here, and here, and, you know, check me with all this. And then, you know, you just jump off your bike, you lock it up, you run in the building, you catch the elevator right away, it's there, boom, you're out of the building, and you check him and you're going. Right.
The 24 Market Monicon to the 25th floor. Drop it off.
Hey, Mr. Producer! Mr. Producer! Can we get a bit of traffic noises in here? Yeah! Riding a bike. Like out on the street. Out of the way, fool! Learn how to walk.
Trouble comes in when you get sick or you get in an accident or something and there's no money coming in. I mean, that's the big problem. I mean, there's no benefits in this. When you're out of work, then you hit poverty real quick.
Many people don't realize it's actually a real job. You really have to work. You really aren't having fun. You really gotta be careful, because those things called cars really do hurt when you get hit by them. And anyone that's been working long enough, maybe a year, 2 years plus as a messenger, is either going to know someone who's gone down or has gone down himself or herself. And you've got to be heads up. People have died from this work.
I mean, that's the thing. You never know from one moment to the next where you're going to like turn into eternity, right? You make that one big wrong turn, right? And that yellow cab just takes you off.
You kind of reach this point where you're in this little zone, and it's like I got a protective shell around me just from my awareness, you know? It's like I get into this mental state where the whole field of vision is there for me, and I see exactly how everything's moving. But every now and then something will happen and you just break out of that shell and you'll go down.
One time I was riding that bike and I was riding real fast, right? And I was riding with no hands. You know how you ride with no hands? And I was eating. And all of a sudden, click, bam, I just fell. And I just scarred up. It wasn't no cut or nothing. It was like a burn. You know how you scrape burn? It was like that. Oh, it burned bad. But shit, I wouldn't that hurt. I'll be in pain, but I'm going back out there.
Oh, I started in, I think, 58, and I've been doing it ever since. See, I don't plan more than maybe a week ahead. I go day by day. Because anytime you start making plans, something always comes up and fouls them up. So I just go day by day. It's like when I go riding on my motorcycle on the weekends. I'm going down a road, I see a road that looks interesting, let's follow it and see where it goes. I have no set plans where I'm going.
But like after all these years, I still look forward to it, you know? When I go home and I'm tired and all, I start looking forward to the next day and all. You know, I know I got something to do and all. You know. I know that if I disappeared, you know, and didn't show up, you know, they'd be pissed and they'd beat me and stuff. That makes me feel good.
Some people are not geared to be tied down all day. Me in particular, I'm not geared to be tied down all day. I'm happy out here. Meet people, say hello, and ride. Get on your bike and ride like hell. That's what to do.
It's a definite bicycle messenger subculture. I've noticed that in the bicycle messenger thing, I've encountered very little racism. We realize we're all in this together, and we're all getting screwed. If you're a bicycle messenger, you're a bicycle messenger, and that's all there is to it. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, punk, hippies, you know, all of this stuff that people get killed over in other places, it just doesn't even show up in bicycle messengers.
You get done at the end of the day and you want to compare notes and see if you're not the only nut. Then you brag about how much money you made, or else bitch about how little you made, you know. It's just, I think, you know, getting out all the feelings that you had all day that you didn't get to tell anybody, you know, because you were by yourself.
For me, I found an artist community out here. Like every other bike messenger is a lead guitar player for somebody, or they paint, or they write the songs and all this and that, you know. I found that was keeping me around. The people who do the job as opposed to the job itself.
Watch that music, watch that music.
I'm a minority, actually, for a couple reasons in being a messenger. One, like we discussed earlier, is that I'm a woman. Another one is that I'm a mother. You know, I have 2 kids at home. A lot of messengers are single. As soon as my husband, Mad Dog, found out I was pregnant, he put the foot down and said, that's it, you know, because I couldn't take the chance of not even one accident. Now that the baby's a year old, I'm glad to be back on the streets.
I don't know, it's too rough on a woman, you know? I'm sure people, you know, insult you and stuff and give you a whole lot less respect. With a dude, you know, if you're all ugly and got long hair and you're scowling and stuff, they don't know you're not going to pull out a gun or something if they give you some shit, you know? But a lady, man, I'm sure, doesn't that happen, man? A lot of times people think they can just say whatever the fuck they want to you, you know? Yeah.
In my company, I know, I could pick up that rush at 4:20 and fly out to City Hall too, but I notice if there's two of us in the same place, he'll give it to the man over the woman. Although I get told all the time, why don't you deliver flowers? It's a lot safer. I get it from my husband every morning when he says he worries about me all day long, which I know he does because it's dangerous, but it's dangerous for a man or a woman.
There's not really a big difference between how I define myself and what my occupation is. The way I am at work is the way I can be all the time. And like I say, and if you're in there wearing sneakers all the time, you're not going to get no job in a corporation wearing no sneakers. They're just not into sneakers. The most interesting thing about being a bike messenger is that if you see anybody that's on the street, down and out, they can literally, if they can present themselves, if they can just go into a company, there's a few left now, and be somewhat presentable and to some degree articulate enough, they can literally get a job and still be living in the street. I mean, it's like a route. It's somewhere someone can start. You know, the world's changed, so I think the messenger thing is one place where people who look out of the norm, whose appearance is out of the norm, can make a living, can exist, you know.
And basically, bicycle messengers fall into certain categories, you know. I mean, why we're there in the first place. I mean, either you coming from an ethnically unfashionable group, you know, and because of discriminatory hiring policies, you have to do this, or B, you're a young kid just in the job market, you know, don't have any skills, or C, you belong to some sort of subculture like a punk or a hippie, where your physical appearance, you know, if you want to keep your image true to that thing, you know, that's the best job you can do. Or fourth, you're like me, an art abuser. You know, you get a lot of struggling musicians and actors, and you know, these people don't have a leg to stand on.
Well, when I first started out, they were company-owned bikes, and then slowly people started sneaking in with 10 speeds, and then after that, the whole system just kind of turned, and they started getting faster bikes. They made more money, so it drew in a lot of cleaner-cut people who didn't want that low-life paycheck. The city is getting very high class. They're getting a lot of money into the town and making some really nice buildings. I think they want some really nice people to go with it. And like I say, it makes me nervous.
I don't know. What the hell did I want to be when I grew up? Oh, a scientist and stuff. I was all studious, you know. Yeah. I was into chemistry and biology. I was going to be a scientist. But then, you know, got into a certain way of life and got lazy, you know, as far as academically, you know. You come back to it and come back to it and come back to it, and it doesn't dawn on you for a real long time that you might do it till you die.
How do they cope with it? They smoke a lot of pot, they drink a lot of beer, and they show up each day until they can't take it anymore. And then it's just like, you know, you either get burned out of the company or you get burned out by biking.
You know, you got to get out and grab for the gusto while you can, because I'd much rather earn a living doing something that I enjoy rather than sitting behind a phone, you know, or sitting in an office pretending to be something and doing things that I don't enjoy. I mean, life's too short to do things like that.
Yeah, it's all right. I got used to the years after 7, and then I figure, well, I'm a lifer, you know, a fossil. grows on me with age. But yeah, they're there. There's a lot of fossils out there. They just stay out there, stay riding for years. It was like, yeah, why sure. I said, I'm going to be a messenger as long as I can. It would be great to see the 10-year mark. And I did. Every day there's a new turn. Every day there's a new angle. The amount of things you can learn while being a messenger is incredible. I'll be with it when the bikes change to rockets, and I'll be out there with mine.
The problems I had today, well, if I can't solve them, they're over with, so why worry about them? I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, so why dwell on something I can't do anything about? Until I find out what's going on. I guess that's about it.
Up Knob Hill, on the way down, found my brakes were useless when wet. Nowhere to go but down and fast. Whoa, get his speed, but we ain't done yet. The rain, the blur, the world stands still. It's like arena controlled on down this hill. Don't wanna die, ain't ready to go. Just another 10 and some yuppie fall. Coming out at the end of the day, we was talking about the man and the way it was, and who got hit and who got hot, and what else slugged that lofty dog is, cause time is money and tags is time, holding me up is a capital crime, but when I ride I got to be free, so I try not to take it all too seriously, so get on all you crazy dogs, calling dash company man a wing nut and claw, her ticket broke glass, we took a spill, fast like the cable car and rides uphill, Merlin hunts the metal swerve, cause we've got the bikes and we've got a nervous, a carnivorous beat on the street. 10-4, 10-4, be 10 2x4, get on! Ow! I get hard.